right, everyone, welcome to the 2020 Pro Bono Award Ceremony presented by the Memphis Bar Association's Access to Justice Committee. I'm so excited to have all of you join us today as we recognize our champions of justice. We will recognize numerous attorneys, law firms, legal departments, and law students. And now I will pass the mic to Justice Holly Kirby, who will deliver our opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so thrilled to be here, and I so enjoyed looking at the photos of the lawyers who have contributed so much. Some of them are longtime friends, some of them are friends whom I've not met yet, but all of them, we are honoring today. We're having this ceremony virtually because of our global pandemic. The pandemic has affected everybody in our nation, everybody in the world, no less so here in Shelby County. We see so many citizens impacted, and all of West Tennessee impacted greatly by it. These are high anxiety times with a high anxiety national election going on, a pandemic, and everybody's problems exacerbated by the pandemic. Nothing worsens anybody's anxiety than inability to do anything about their problem as they see their problems multiply. But all of you lawyers are addressing the things that are central in people's lives, the things that keep them from moving forward, the things that threaten their families, their livelihoods, so many things, and certainly their peace of mind. I'm so glad to be here to honor all of the champions of justice, the lawyers, the law firms, the law students, the legal departments, the nonprofit organizations. We are proud on behalf of the court, the whole court. We are so proud of you. I know that you have been learning about ways in which to navigate pro bono work during the pandemic. I want all of you to bookmark some of the innovations and changes that are taking place. We've seen many of them take place in our justice system, sort of forced on us, but we are noticing ways in which some of those innovations and leveraging technologies can be used and will be able to be used in the future when we're finally past the pandemic. Notice all of those in the field of pro bono work as well. I think that we will be able to focus on those and focus on some ways that we can reach even more people, that we can use more lawyers who may not be able to come physically to a Saturday clinic or some other activity like that. I think that we will be able to leverage those even after the pandemic is gone. But most of all, please know that the court is grateful for every hour that you are spending. When people feel that someone cares about them and is reaching out to them and offering help to them, we know that you are the one who is giving them that comfort, that there are people in the world who care for them and care for their well-being. Thank you on behalf of the whole court, and we recognize you, all of the champions of justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justice Kirby. We will go ahead and get started with the presentation of awards. Some of the recipients are on the call today and will be making remarks. So after you are called, please turn on your microphone and make your remarks. Some of the recipients were not able to make it today. So not everyone will be making a remark, just so that our audience is aware. Let me get my PowerPoint to work. Yes. So our first champion of justice is Quentin Thompson. I've had the pleasure of working with Quentin Thompson through our Young Lawyers division of the Memphis Bar Association. And every year we put together what we call our legal lines with one of our local news stations. That usually happens in April. This year that wasn't able to happen. And so I get a call from Quentin, and he's wanting to know, what can we do to still, provide this service to our community? It's something that the YLD has always done, and it's always generated a lot of volunteerism and a lot of support for the community. It's always received so many calls, but it just wasn't safe to gather several attorneys into a small network room to provide legal assistance. So we brainstormed, and the idea for Legal Talks came up, which was a Facebook-driven kind of legal advice platform where we engaged pro bono attorneys to share information about various topics. And Quentin was very instrumental in getting this program going. He worked with to engage multiple attorneys in different practice areas to deliver what we called our YLD Legal Talks. And it was a very successful program and really took some, initiative to say, we're not just going to not do our legal lines this year, which would have been the easy thing to do. It was no, let's work. And it was probably more work to do the legal talks and the legal lines, but it definitely served a purpose. If you haven't checked out those legal talks, they are on the NBA's Facebook. So I definitely encourage you to go look at them because Quentin definitely put in a lot of work to make sure that information was still shared to our community. And a lot of those topics were COVID-19 related. In addition to the legal talks, COVID-19 really impacted a lot of things that the NBA was set to do this year. One of their regular programs, the SLIP program. Many of you probably partner with that program and are aware of the program, but it partners high school students with law firms throughout the summer so they can get engaged with the legal community, get an idea of what we as attorneys do to hopefully inspire them to go to law school and become attorneys themselves. Again, that wasn't really very feasible because of COVID. A lot of our law firms were now operating remotely or just wasn't very safe to send students into the law firms. So again, Quentin, he worked with the NBA and figured out a way, how can we still engage these high school students so that we can share with them the great works that our attorneys are doing and encourage them to join our profession. So they shifted gears and made that a virtual program. And so because of these things, Quentin taking the initiative and thinking of innovative ways to continue to provide access to justice and to share what we do as lawyers every day with those aspiring to be attorneys. Quentin Thompson is a 2020 Champion of Justice.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. And I'm just happy to, have someone great like you to collaborate with. When things like this come up, because I knew that I had to call you to figure out what can we do, because you yourself are doing so much great work out there. But I just want to, talk briefly and say thank you to the Memphis Bar Association Access to Justice Committee. I just do what I know that I'm obligated to do. I benefited from people, looking out for others. I was a part of the SLIP program back in 2007. So if it wasn't for lawyers and judges putting their time into the community, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm really just giving back what has already been given to me. And, that I grew up, when you think about that word champion, I grew up not really being good at any sports at all. And it's one of the reasons why I actually just kind of threw myself into books, and I was always a good student. So I was never going to be a champion in sports or the championship winner at basketball or football. But now to be a champion of justice, I can't think of any other, better champion to be. That's the perfect champion. So I'm just glad that I finally got that title. Thank you all for, working with me, all these years. And thank you, Danielle. And I know Deanna's on here. She was a huge part of that virtual SLIP program that we created. And I'm just happy and humbled to be a part of this amazing group of people.
I have the privilege of introducing our next champion of justice, which is Danny Shafson. And Danny, of course, you all know, is the director of experiential learning, which is code for pro bono feeder. Just take my word on this. And an associate professor of law at the University of Memphis. Danny is involved in a lot of different things. The Neighborhood Preservation Clinic, which of course, again, is a feeder program, at least as far as we're concerned. He was involved and remains involved in the Medical Legal Partnership with Le Bonheur, which provides assistance for low-income families, children and their families, in areas largely related to housing, but other areas as well that affect the health of those children. Professor Shafson has been instrumental in implementing the pro bono program, which engages law students in pro bono programs in the summer. He's also developed the Access to Justice Summer Fellowship, where he pairs law students with Access to Justice organizations throughout the state. And of course, bless him, he's been involved in the eviction settlement program, and he still has hair as a result. It's amazing. It is a tremendous program. It provides a tremendous service. It's a greatly, greatly needed service. And I have to say that at some days it is a very frustrating service to attempt to provide, but we appreciate it. And it is my privilege to present to you one of our 2020 Champions of Justice, Danny Shafson.
Thank you. I told Danielle I wasn't going to say anything, but Danielle, I hope it's okay if Danielle just, I'm sure, planned as if I was going to say something. I didn't quite know the format, but I want to just say thank you to the Memphis Bar Association, to the incredible Memphis legal community, and to my partners at Legal Services and in the clinic at the law school. I have the privilege of doing what I do every day. I don't know that there's anybody who loves his job or her job more than I do, love mine. And that's because of the partnerships that I'm able to have that I frankly missed the in-person kind of work together, certainly with my students and with my clients. But this last 8 months, as hard as it's been, the work that this community is doing through the eviction settlement program, through all of the good pro bono and other legal work that's continuing, for me has been beyond a silver lining. It has kept me going. And I think that's true for a lot of us. When times are dark, as they have been, this kind of work emerges as the light. And my students have inspired me. They continue to inspire me. Partners of mine in the pro bono initiatives that we're a part of. And that includes the Tennessee Supreme Court. I know that, I think I saw Anne Louise on this call. What a remarkable community we have in Tennessee promoting pro bono work on behalf of those who really can't afford it and can't usually access it. There is no other state that I'm aware of that does it like we do it here. And I think that extends to the city of Memphis. So thanks to everybody. Keep doing this inspired work, keep inspiring, because it is needed more than ever. And just, I am humbled beyond words to accept this award and be recognized in this way. So thanks.
Okay, I again get the privilege of introducing another good friend. Jake kind of stole my thunder about the Veterans Clinic, so I'll tell you a little bit of a different viewpoint of it. About a week before each clinic, my email comes, and it's come for the last 7 years from Jake. And it says, "Are you coming? We need you. We will have veterans. We need to serve." Just like clockwork, the email has always come, and it's always been very gracious. And he only wants to know if you're not going to be there, because if you're not going to be there, he's going to harass someone else to appear and help him. But Jake has been a dedicated, devoted servant to the veterans. When we were trying to figure out what to do after COVID started, Jake called and said, "Okay, can we have do you think we could have a clinic on the top of the garage over at 1407 Union?" And I'm thinking, it's awfully hot up there on the top in July. But the point is, he was looking, he was trying to find something that would work, some way to provide the service. And of course, what we've hit on is this method where we get the list from Ms. Pat, and then he'll divide up the cases, and everybody will get their case, and he kind of keeps up with it. But the point is, the man has done this faithfully for 7 years. I mean, never missed a beat for 7 years. It hasn't mattered what job he had or where he was or what else was going on with him. And he's had some other things going on with him, but he's continued very faithfully forward with this. So I'm very proud to be able to announce our other, one of our other 2020 champions of justice, and that's Jake Dickerson.
Thank you, Cindy. Just very briefly, the way that I got involved with this is maybe the way that all great pro bono projects start. Is it was kind of accidentally. Pat Hines, back in 2012, Miss Pat contacted Linda Warren Seeley, who was at Mal's then, and said, you know, we have this huge community of veterans, many of whom are, you know, have, you know, special needs and things, and they're not very comfortable going to maybe the public library for the Saturday clinic or the courthouse for the Thursday clinic. And she wanted to know if we could start a clinic that was, you know, at the VA, at the social work office, where a lot of the, especially older veterans, were already comfortable going. So Linda reached out to me at the time. I was, I guess, the vice president of the Young Lawyers Division here. And just coincidentally, I was, this was back when the Memphis Bar did their leadership forum class. And my group needed a project, and we were kind of striking out on ideas. So I was like, hey, we could sponsor this first clinic, and it'll be, you know, a great project, but, you know, this will be just kind of a one-off thing. Well, 7 years later, I'm still involved. And Linda and Pat were great. And because we were actually a pilot program, the VA had just passed a rule that allowed for coordination with pro bono clinics. And if we weren't the first, we were certainly the model. And we've actually had the opportunity to start sister clinics in all over the Mid-South. I know Knoxville has one. I haven't checked in on them in a while, but they started one based on us. We've talked to people in Arizona, North Carolina, that, you know, we were kind of the national model. But it's been a great program over 7 years. If my estimates are right, we've helped over 1,700 veterans, many of whom would not have engaged the legal community otherwise. But I definitely wanted to thank Pat Hines, Shay Lane, and Courtney Devine at the VA. Each month they are ready for us and have the veterans organized and prepared to meet with us. I definitely need to thank Bruce and Sydney and everyone at Mal's who have kept this going. Like I said, in March, we celebrated our 7th anniversary, and that was also our last in-person clinic. So now we've switched to telephonic, and, you know, we're not able to help quite as many as we did. Our average was 20 a month, and now we're down to about 10 or 15 a month, but at least we're still able to help. Our clinic is the second Tuesday of every month. The next one will be the 10th. If you would like to get on my pestering email list that Cindy was describing earlier, please just ask somebody at Mal's and they can get you in touch with me, because we always need more help. But now that we've switched to telephonic, it's hopefully a little more convenient, because you don't have to necessarily call the veteran during the time slot. But it's a great program, and I'm just so thankful that we've got a great core group of people who volunteer every month.
Everybody. My name's Ann Mathis. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Legal Center, and today I am very proud to be presenting the award for Outstanding Individual Attorney, Pro Bono Attorney. Ryan Spickard is not able to be with us today. He had a trial prep session with the client rescheduled, I guess, on a fairly urgent basis. He had planned to be here, but could not. So I will both be presenting and accepting for We're so proud of him. He has just been someone to whom our immigration lawyers, he is an immigration lawyer himself, runs his own firm. And before I met Ryan, he was already someone I knew of by name, because I would hear about him from our immigration staff attorneys as someone that was always willing to confer with him about something or help out on a pro bono basis. Shortly after that, we invited him to be on one of our board committees, and then he joined the board. And what I didn't realize was the extent to which he was still taking cases. In the last 18 months, he's taken 6 immigration cases. And one of the things that we all know as I practiced law for 30 years, it is difficult to balance work and home life, but then the opportunity to give back can also be an important element. And to find time to do what Ryan has done, which is to not only help the CLC in terms of being on the board and being the chair of our advancement committee, which is responsible for civil engagement and fundraising, but also to continue to take pro bono cases on a regular basis is pretty remarkable. Our pro bono coordinator, Tina Pierskia, said it is the attorneys who consistently take cases who really allow us to do our pro bono function. And I think that is, every attorney that has been mentioned and discussed already and throughout today does things on a consistent basis, whether it be clinic participation or whether it be, again, taking individual cases. So again, I just am pleased to present this award to Ryan in absentia, and I hope you'll join me in congratulating him for this well-deserved award. Thank you.
Our first Champion of Justice law firm recipient is Birch Porter and Johnson. Earlier this year, when Cindy called me and she said, we're going to have this eviction program, we're going to need attorneys, I need you to start reaching out to firms and to private attorneys and get them engaged. I said, okay. And I reached out to an attorney that I knew at Birch Porter and Johnson and asked her, we have this program going on. If y'all are interested, let me know and I can give you more information. She disseminated it to her firm, and when I sent out the sign-up sheet, it was all Birch Porter and Johnson attorneys. That was it. That was all the attorneys for the program. And as I started looking at the list of attorneys on their website, I was like, oh, I now know this person. I know this person. I know this person. And I really believe the eviction settlement program is so strong because of the support of Birch Porter and Johnson. It takes so many attorneys and it takes so many individual attorneys, but when you have a firm that comes together and says that they're going to work on a project like this together, it just makes it adds some strength because they are then able to work on cases within their firm together, and that's definitely what they have done. So I thank every single one of the Birch Porter Johnson attorneys. I'm not going to name each and every one of them that has participated in the ESP program, but it has been a number of them. And then the firm just overall has supported the program in other ways of indirect assistance to our clients as well. And so I want to thank Birch Porter and Johnson for their commitment to the ESP program. It is because of your firm and many other volunteer attorneys that we are able to help so many people remain in their housing during this pandemic. And today we have Melissa Moore from Birch Porter and Johnson to make a few remarks.
Thank you so much. Danny Thomas said that success has nothing to do with what you gain in life or what you accomplish for yourself. It's what you do for others. And all of the lawyers here at Birch Porter and Johnson, we strongly believe that it's our responsibility to help others and to give back. And we're very grateful for the opportunity to use our legal skills to help those who cannot otherwise afford to help themselves. So on behalf of the entire firm, We just want to say thank you to the Access to Justice for Committee for selecting us for this award. It's, like I said, it's truly a privilege to be able to help, especially in these difficult times. And we realize that it could have been any one of us facing eviction or going through the things that our clients that were a part of the program went through. So we are truly honored, and thank you all so much for the award.
Our next law firm to be recognized is the Ralston Buchanan Consumer Law Group. Ralston Buchanan, though a small law firm, makes a big impact when it comes to pro bono assistance. Each of the attorneys at Ralston Buchanan is involved in our eviction settlement program, but their commitment is long-standing. Both Dan and Bruce have been longtime volunteers and have actually received the Champion of Justice honor in years past. In addition to the ESP program, they have supported other COVID-19 initiatives. Our Pro Bono Summer Fellowship Program with the law school, they served as supervisor attorneys, working with the law students as they consulted with clients and drafted the advice letters. They, as you heard, Bruce participates regularly in the Veterans Clinic. And they've just, whenever there's been any type of program, I know I can email Bruce and say, hey, can y'all help out? And it's not just Bruce that comes to the call, it's every single person at the Ralston Buchanan Consumer Law Group that really just answers the call. And they all work so well together to help our clients in a variety of capacities. In addition to the various programs, they also assist with Chapter 7 bankruptcies and have done even some estate planning for our clients. So I just greatly appreciate their active commitment and their longstanding commitment to access to justice, and it is definitely a well-deserved honor.
Thank you, Danielle. That's I don't think I could brag on myself that much. That was very nice. Yeah, I've been very involved in all this for several years. Back when Linda Seeley set up the free legal clinics every month, in, I believe it was 2006. That just really opened my eyes to some great possibilities. I love the economics of this, that how efficient it is. With just a few minutes of our time, we can turn somebody's life around, or at least a major part of it. We can help them get over some big hump. Sometimes the best thing we can do for people is tell them, forget it. No, you're wasting your time. Don't bother. Just get on with your life and do some other good stuff. And it's very rewarding. So I've been doing the monthly legal clinic. I've been doing ESP lately. I've been doing one of my favorite records is that I've only missed one VA legal clinic until the pandemic started, and that was because I had to go to Nashville for a Tennessee Bar Association Access to Justice Committee meeting. So it's a big part of my life. And most of this time I've been a lone wolf. I've been solo, and that's been fine. But about 2 years ago, the good Lord dropped Dan Buchanan into my lap. And Dan Buchanan is a lot of things that I am not. He's a great litigator. He is energetic, and he has become the wind beneath my wings. And he won this award last year. Danielle mentioned I won it individually 3 years ago. And now to have us all recognized like this, and the whole team, I mean, it's a team effort. Now, where it was just me bouncing around like a pinball, now we have Dan fighting battles. We have Elizabeth running the office. We have Chelsea, up and coming lawyer. We have Sri Jayaraman as an intern. We have Marilyn as my new assistant. We are just really going great guns here, and looking forward to the future, and cannot imagine where we're going, but I know it's going to be fun and interesting.
Our next recipient is for the legal department, is Tennessee Valley Authority. Last year, it was it was actually the week I went on maternity leave. I got an email, because yes, I was still looking at emails during that time. I got an email from Tennessee Valley Authority wanting to inquire about doing a clinic in the beginning of the year. So I sent it to the Pro Bono Paralegal. I was like, make sure you get in touch with them. This could be a great project. And what I didn't know is that it was going to be the beginning of such a beautiful relationship in serving our community. So as you may know, the Tennessee Valley Authority, they're not located here in Memphis. Most of the attorneys that we're working with are actually located in Knoxville or in the East Tennessee area. But in February of this year, they came on down and partnered with Baker Donaldson to do a Wills and Powers of Attorney clinic. This was in February before COVID, before we all knew COVID was a thing, and we were able to actually meet with people in person, and they provided Wills and Powers of Attorney to our senior community. It was a great clinic. We had a great time. We were like, this could be something great. And then COVID hit, but that just opened up more doors for us to partner with TVA, because then they were like, well, we can't do anything in person, but that doesn't mean we can't do things virtually now. So we started doing various trainings, talking together, figuring out, well, what's the best way that we can provide assistance to the Memphis community while y'all are there in Knoxville and we're here. And so in September of this year, we partnered together to do an expungement clinic. And so there were numerous attorneys, I think it was probably, and other professionals within their office, probably about 30 plus volunteers from TVA got together in groups and did research on criminal records to determine if we could help our clients with non-conviction expungements. We provided assistance to over 20 clients that day and provided, we did about 50 plus non-conviction orders. But that wasn't enough. They wanted to do more. They were like, what other areas can we help with? So we start talking, doing various trainings, and just keep developing, keep moving forward to how we can continue to serve the Memphis area. And I think TVA is very special because they aren't here in Memphis, but they do have a connection to Memphis. Tennessee Valley Authority services this region. So even though they aren't physically here in Memphis, they are here in Memphis and they want to see our community grow and do better. And so they have chosen Memphis really to start their pro bono program and to really serve this area. And so I'm super grateful for the partnership, for the relationships that I've built at the Tennessee Valley Authority. And so I'm very happy to recognize them this year as a 2020 Champion of Justice. And today we have Sherry Quirk, their General Counsel, here today to make some remarks.
Thank you, Danielle. Real pleasure for us to accept this award. As you've noted, we've got a very young program. We're just recently in this world of pro bono work, and very happy to have been able to partner with you as we have been. This program really has been born out of our desire to extend our role with the Tennessee Valley Authority, which is to make life better for the people in the Tennessee Valley. So we're viewing our pro bono work as an extension of the job that we're doing for the entire region. And we're just customer, and we are very concerned with Memphis and how it is doing. The credit really, though, for getting this program off the ground and for giving a lot of energy and initiative to it goes to Kendra Mansour, Nick McCall, and Sydney Nenny. They are the ones who have made it their goal and focus to do good things and to involve as many other people as they can in doing those good things. So hats off to them for never taking no for an answer and for getting it done no matter what. I'd also like to thank the members of the Enterprise Leadership Team, which I sit on as well as the General Counsel. These are top managers in TVA. We have very strong support from the top of our organization, from Jeff Lyash, John Thomas, our CFO, Jeanette Mills, our Chief External Relations Officer, all very interested and concerned that we do the best that we can with this project. So thank you, Danielle, and thank you for making it so easy for us. You've made it very easy for us. We hope to be helpful to others. Thank you.
Next, I am pleased to present a Champion of Justice Legal Department Award to AutoZone. We want to consider for a moment the role that corporate legal departments play in terms of promoting pro bono. I think if legal departments have attorneys involved with pro bono, that means they're doing something right. And encouraging attorneys again to make giving back a priority. What I think we can know about the AutoZone Legal Department is that they have been involved for some time in working to promote pro bono. I know that Memphis Area Legal Services tells me that AutoZone has been a longtime partner and sponsor of the Orange Mound Wills Clinic in partnership with Bass, Berry, and Sims. That they also have partnered with Mounds to educate the community on best practices and potential pitfalls to avoid when purchasing a used car. I know for the Community Legal Center that several AutoZone attorneys and one AutoZone paralegal partnered with our immigration lawyers to work on a clinic helping refugees who have been resettled in Memphis with their applications for naturalization. And I think all of those indicate, again, an interest in serving at the grassroots level, which is exactly what is needed. So I hope that you will join me in congratulating AutoZone for this well-deserved recognition. We have Amber Hitchcock, who is, I believe, the managing attorney for the real estate department at AutoZone, who is here to accept the award and make a few remarks. So Amber.
Yes, thank you, Anne. It really is an honor for the AutoZone Legal Department to receive this recognition. Pro bono work is something that is especially important to our General Counsel, Kristen Wright, and she's been the one basically to spearhead this initiative for us, and she's encouraged us to get out in the community and help others. And so she's been a great support and advocate for us. But I think we owe our great success to our partnerships that we've had along the way. Just like you said, Anne, we've partnered with Memphis Area Legal Services, Bass, Berry and Sims. We've partnered with Buck Lewis and Baker Donaldson attorneys to do a few labs, co-sponsored a Saturday legal clinic, and then most recently partnered with CLC for some refugee work, which was extremely fulfilling. And again, we are appreciative, especially being in-house attorneys, of the training that you guys provide us. So before we go out and do a lab or a clinic, generally MALS or CLC will come out and train us, and that's so helpful. And it just gets us ready and prepared and able to go out and do what we do. So we do appreciate that. And so we're fortunate to do the work that we do, and we're extremely committed to continuing to do that. So thank you for this recognition. We appreciate it. And we hope to be able to partner with you guys shortly, especially the things that I learned today. Some of the clinics I didn't know were going to be remote. So I'll be reaching out to you guys about that.
All right, next we have our Champion of Justice for a nonprofit organization. This year we're recognizing Neighborhood Preservation Incorporated. So Neighborhood Preservation Incorporated got involved with the eviction settlement project and in a eviction settlement program in a very big way, maybe a bigger way than they even anticipated. Steve Barlow, the president of Neighborhood Preservation, Inc., has done such a tremendous job in getting the eviction settlement program up and going and just maintaining it day to day. As I mentioned earlier, it's a huge undertaking, hundreds and hundreds of clients applying. And when we first opened the doors for the application, it was hundreds right away, and it never slows. And so there's day-to-day work that has to be done to make sure that we're assisting the clients. And Steve is very good at making sure that we are prioritizing the clients, that we're making sure that clients that are at the most risk of eviction are getting help as soon as possible. A day doesn't go by that I'm not flooded with emails from Steve or is this person getting placed? Is this person getting the help they need? And it just shows the concern that this organization has for our communities. And we wouldn't be able to do the eviction settlement program if it wasn't for organizations like Neighborhood Preservation Inc. coming in and partnering with lawyers at the Law School Clinic and at Memphis Area Legal Services, and various law firms and private attorneys within the Memphis area to make sure that we are meeting the greater need of our community. So for all of the hard work that goes way beyond his call of duty, I want to thank Neighborhood Preservation Inc. and Steve Barlow for all the work that they've done with the eviction settlement program and recognize them as a 2020 Champion of Justice.
Thank you so much, Danielle, and everyone else on this call. So many of you on this call are important parts of the eviction settlement program. The program fit the mission of Neighborhood Preservation Inc. well, we thought. We primarily work as an organization on neighborhood issues. What more significant neighborhood issue in the city of Memphis than many people facing the loss of their home due to eviction because of the pandemic. And so in terms of our connection to the community, we have worked as a policy organization over the years on certain projects at the local level and state level especially. And we've built great relationships with the Law Clinic and with MALS, with the city and county agencies like the Housing and Community Development Division of the City of Memphis and the Community Services Agency of Shelby County, the city mayor and the county mayor, using CARES Act funds that were allocated in March, decided to support this unique partnership of a legal services corporation, especially the private attorney involvement program that Danielle runs so capably, and the Law Clinic, which Professor Shafson, another champion today, has so capably run. So what we've got, one of the attorneys who has been whose picture was in the preview video, Monique Beals, said a few days ago in her discussion of how much she's enjoyed being a volunteer in the eviction settlement program. She said she feels like she's a part of a public interest law firm who's working to make a difference in the lives of people facing evictions in the city of Memphis. We meet every week on Thursday afternoon. Danny and I and Danielle sort of facilitate this conversation among citywide attorneys who are working on these cases, many of them working on many at a time throughout the week. So it has been an opportunity for NPI, which is a local nonprofit organization that's usually not involved in things like eviction settlement and legal services provision. It's given us an opportunity as a nonprofit to step into a void and to use our connections and our relationships to build a unique partnership. And we couldn't have done it without many of the people on this call. And so we thank you very much for recognizing us and calling us out. But I just want to point out that it wouldn't have been possible without all of the support from so many of you on the call. Thank you for the award and thank you for the partnership.
Caleb Hand. Caleb began volunteering with Miles Restoration of Rights Project this summer, assisting clients with expungement, voter registration, and driver's license reinstatement. Caleb transitioned his focus, joining the eviction settlement program to assist tenants facing eviction. Caleb has worked on numerous settlements and is currently tackling a bulk settlement to keep tenants in their home. Asia Munar. Asia has demonstrated a commitment to assist our community with their housing legal needs. Asia spent the past summer as a legal extern with Memphis Area Legal Service. When her externship ended, she joined the eviction settlement program to continue her efforts in providing our community with safe and reliable housing, especially during the pandemic. Danielle Husseini. Danielle demonstrated her commitment to pro bono service and access to justice when she spent the past summer as a pro bono summer fellow. Danielle spent her summer working with clients under the supervision of pro bono attorneys, researching clients' legal issues and drafting legal advice letters. Following her fellowship, Danielle joined the eviction settlement program, working with pro bono attorneys to negotiate settlements for tenants who were facing eviction due to the loss of income as a result of COVID-19.
And now, Cindy, are you available to do closing remarks?
I absolutely can do that. As all of us know, I don't think there's any human being who at some point in time has not needed the help and the support of at least one person. And we know that that help and support given at the right time, the time that for that person is a critical time, is really what pro bono is all about. Our pro bono volunteers make that decision to step forward in the hope that by stepping in at a critical time, they can make a difference. And that difference is usually felt not just in the life of that one person, but usually in the lives of their children, their extended family. And the ultimate goal is that if we can help one person and one family, little by little, we can help our entire community. So whether to our pro bono volunteers, our champions, if you've been paying it forward or giving it back, you've made a difference in this community. And by your efforts, you will continue to make a difference in our community. We are honored by your work. We are delighted to be a part of your efforts. And we're looking forward to working with you in continuing to serve our community. So thank you all.